Hello, today I'm starting a new series where I'm going to go over all the different Unlimited SCP special classes, like what makes them different from their base class, and some ideas for how to best play them, because I know that sometimes it can be confusing trying to figure each class out. Today we are starting out with the Server Technician. The Server Technician is a scientist that spawns in Heavy in the server room with 120 HP. He spawns with a research card, a combat armor, a medkit, and a flashlight. The main ability of the Server Technician is that 079 can't see the room the technician is in, which is especially useful once you escape and become MTF because it stops the computer from locking down the room and creating an ambush. The Server Technician can either be horrible or great depending on RNG. On the plus side, you spawn in Heavy, which means you are closer to escaping, and if you can quickly get to the 096 card, you'll be out fast. The downside is most SCPs spawn in Heavy and you could very well spawn right next to them. The way I'd recommend playing the Technician is not going down to Light unless you find the elevators right away, because most SCPs will try to go down too, and it's just wasting time since you're only going to have to come back up. Instead, as Technician, I'd recommend going to find 096's room as quick as you can and getting the Sergeant card. Make sure you open as many SCP containers as you can, because those will be very helpful on your escape out. You can consider even going down to Nuke in 049's room to grab more SCP objects, because something like the hat can greatly pay off when trying to escape. Depending on how soon you get the Sergeant card though, and what you find first will determine your next steps. If you're fast enough, you should just escape, but if the Serpent has already spawned, it could be smarter to go raid the Heavy armories and get geared up, so you can kill the Serpents and everything else. Alternatively though, you can just search for the hat and wait for the servants to open gate A and just slip past. Or if you're just that good, slip past without the hat. With this class, you could also potentially get micro really fast, as once you get the sergeant card, you can get grenades from the armory, then blow up the door and get micro. Once you're MTF though, your ability will be invaluable and possibly the only counter strat to a good computer, because they won't be able to lock down the room, which will stop massive team wipes. You just have to make sure you stay with your team or be the one to enter the room next to checkpoint first, because that it tends to be the place where a computer usually lays his trap. So while there are many ways you can play Technician, the ways that seem to be the most effective is the collector of SCP items, the speedrunner who gets the sergeant card and then leaves, and the raider, the person that stocks up on everything they can from the armories. And that concludes our Server Technician video. Leave a comment about how you prefer to play this class, and more special class guide videos are to come. If you have a suggestion for what you want to see next, I'm all open ears. Shout out to Beryl for making all these amazing special classes.